I had to let go of one of my favorite cameras ever, the Blackmagic Micro Cinema Camera. And I went with the Seacam E2. And you might be wondering why I gave up the really nice colors and texture of the Fairchild sensors to go with the Sony sensor modern camera. That looks a lot like the Bmpcc 4K, by the way, which I already own. And I'll touch on that a little bit later. Actually, the reason why I had to let go of the camera had nothing to do with the image. I think the image of that camera is gorgeous, actually. It's one of the better cameras that I've ever owned. And I think it has one of the nicest colors out of any camera ever. But the issue I kept having with that camera is that the IR filter in front of the sensor kept getting foggy. For some reason, it's a quality issue in Blackmagic cameras in general, especially those older cameras. The IR cut in front of the sensor tends to get foggy. I was on my third change of glass and I said, you know what, I've had it. I put a brand new one, original in it, and I sold it. It was in perfect condition, it had nothing wrong. I just couldn't deal with that anymore. It was actually causing me anxiety and not letting me enjoy the camera. But the Seacam E2 is actually a surprisingly good camera. It has a lot of the nice characteristics of the Bmpcc 4K. Actually, it's been said they share the sensor, and now owning it, I think that might actually be true. They have the same crop factor. They have dual native ISO, although in the pocket it's 3200 and 400, and this one is 500 and 2500 in C-Log. But they behave very similarly. I mean, the exposing is a little different. You gotta expose a little more of ETTR, or exposing to the right with the Seacam, but in the end result is very similar. In fact, I actually think I like the color science, like right off the bat. I like the skin tones and the color science a little better on the Seacam, although I will say that the color science on the Bmpcc 4K is actually more consistent from situation. If you change lighting conditions, you can expect the Bmpcc 4K to behave in a more predictable manner, as the E2 might switch a little bit, get a little bit of magenta into the image or a little bit of blue in the shadows, which is fine. You can color correct because you have those 10-bit ProRes files that you can dial in however you want, or ProRes RAW or C-RAW, which are all thick codecs, 10-bit and 12-bit, which you can do a lot with. I actually used both those cameras on a TV show, which is the extension of the franchise called from America's Got Talent. It's the Dominican version. It's called Dominicanas Got Talent, which is the one filmed in my country, and I got to work with both cameras in that show, which is actually a nationally televised international franchise, and actually ran into some problems, which I will talk about. The image was mostly very, very nice, but I decided to go with a flat image profile for some reason, which I didn't know about because I had just got the camera like 3-4 days back before that, and I hadn't tested that profile, and then I discovered that it has a problem with the saturation with LED lights, with hard RGB lights. You might get this intense saturation that actually ruined a couple of my clips, and I didn't know that. But luckily, I found out that you just use C-Log and you're good to go, which most of us that do film right now or work in film actually use log profile, so it's fine. But yeah, the camera has a really nice color science, and it has really good low light performance. It's very similar to the 4K, except for the fact that the ergonomics and the fact that it's a cube and it's riggable and you can build it up however you want makes it such a comfortable camera. Like, I have this rig right now that is so comfortable to use in comparison to like the 4K, which has this weird wide DSLR-ish style to the body, which can be very uncomfortable, and the feel of the Seacam is all metal. It's actually a heavy camera. It's actually a bigger camera than you might think it is if you've never held one, and feels robust and has worked really well. I like it very much. So that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so for more content like this in the future, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.